A new financial disclosure found Representative Ilhan Omar's net worth could be as much as $30 million.
Representative Omar has used her 3 terms in Congress to divide our community and enrich herself.
Ladies and gentlemen, drop what you are doing because this one is massive. Today, a bombshell just landed in Minnesota politics. And yes, it could be the beginning of the end for Ilhan Omar. Now, let me explain. Democrat challenger, yes, Democrat, Don Samuels, the same guy who almost beat her last time, in a resurfaced clip, a clip I have not seen yet, but it explains everything about why Ilhan Omar is worth so much money. He went absolutely scorched earth. We're talking about straight up accusations of money laundering, self-enrichment, and campaign cash funneled by the millions directly into Ilhan Omar's own household. Now, this headline should have every single one of you sitting up straight. This is crazy. Ilhan Omar's campaign has paid her husband, Tim Mynett's consulting firm, over $3 million since 2020. And you wonder how she's worth so much money. $3 million of donor money, small dollar donations, Act Blue checks, grandma's $27 contributions, going straight from the campaign right back into the Omar Mynett bank account. But it gets darker. That same husband took over $1 million from Somali American investors in South Dakota, promised them a winery, then allegedly left workers unpaid, triggered lawsuits, and also had assets frozen by the U.S. Treasury's OFAC office because of potential sanction violations. This Democrat, Don Samuels, stood there and said flat out, Ilhan Omar has used her 3 terms in Congress not to help the district, not to help the American people, but to divide the community and enrich herself and her cronies. This is absolutely massive. A former Minneapolis City Council member, Don Samuels, in a suit at a podium with supporters behind him, laying it all out, daring the media and the DOJ to finally do something. Now, I want you to take a listen to this.
Minnesota's 5th Congressional District. And we called together this press conference in the wake of yesterday's article in the Minnesota Reformer about my opponent, Representative Omar. She paid her husband, Tim Mynett, $3 million of campaign money. And the way her time in office has given his business access and credibility, as they've misappropriated more than $1 million in money from South Dakota investors. They left workers unpaid and found the funds frozen by the Office of Foreign Assets Control, the U.S. Treasury Department in charge of enforcing sanctions. Unfortunately, this story is just the latest scandal in a string of new stories about Representative Omar that narrow the focus on her and bring us further from the type of progress our district and our country needs around issues that affect the lives of our neighbors. Representative Omar has used her 3 terms in Congress, what many would consider the opportunity and honor of a lifetime, to divide our community and enrich herself in the process. Minnesota Reformer reporter Max Nestorak's article mentions at least 3 of the businesses that Tim Mynett and his partner Will Haler started. The first was their political consultancy, which received an unprecedented sum of money from Representative Omar's 2020 race, where she raked in millions of small dollar contributions from across the country during the election cycle. $3 million was spent with E Street, and a large portion of that money went directly back into her own household. After that, Tim Mynett and his business partner, Will Haler, started a winery, a decision made when one of their marketing clients apparently offered them grapes in lieu of money. The winery left its workers unpaid and is currently being sued for breach of contract, a bizarre arrangement where they agreed to return an investment of $300,000 with a return of $900,000 just 18 months later.
But I want you to take a look at this. Minnesota Representative Ilhan Omar's husband net worth skyrocketed while she's been in Congress. Surprise, surprise. In 2023, his net worth was just $51,000. Now check this out. Something happens in 2024. Look it. In 2024, his net worth skyrocketed to $30 million, a roughly 3,500% increase in 1 year. So, hold up. How did, in just one single year, he went from $51,000 to $30 million? Can you please tell me? And then it says, despite arguing she's not worth millions, a new financial disclosure found Representative Ilhan Omar's net worth could be as much as $30 million. The vast majority of the money coming from her husband's two companies. So check this out now. These are the financial disclosures and everything else being covered. Ilhan Omar could be in serious trouble here, guys. Take a listen to this.
Developing now, despite arguing she is not worth millions, a new financial disclosure found Representative Ilhan Omar's net worth could be as much as $30 million. The vast majority of the money coming from her husband's two companies. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris joining us. There's been interest growing around this disclosure because earlier this year she slammed claims of being a secret millionaire. What more can you share, Jeff?
So the 2025 disclosure, first reported by the Washington Free Beacon, shows that the Minnesota Congresswoman and her husband have a net worth between $6 and $30 million, a roughly 3,500% increase compared to 2023. The Free Beacon reporting the couple's financial gains came from her husband's two businesses, a winery in California and a venture capital firm headquartered in Washington, D.C. Those assets were valued between $5 and $25 million by the end of 2024. In 2023, that number was reportedly less than 1,000. But Omar, a founding squad member, slammed online speculation back in February, claiming she was a secret millionaire. Omar saying, quote, "Since getting elected, there has been a coordinated right-wing disinformation campaign claiming all sorts of wild things, including the ridiculous claim I am worth millions of dollars, which is categorically false." Omar went on to say she is a working mom with student loan debt, trying to raise a family while also maintaining homes in Minneapolis and in Washington, D.C., the disclosure reflecting those debts. As of tonight, Omar has not publicly commented on this new disclosure, her most recent appearance coming on Sunday when she called for getting rid of assault weapons on CNN's State of the Union following the deadly shooting at Annunciation Catholic School.
Wow, this is absolutely massive. So it looks like what Ilhan Omar was doing was all these donations her campaign was getting, she was diverting them into her husband's businesses, into these political consulting firms, and he was buying up wineries and all these other things and not even paying workers. This is huge. Ilhan Omar, she may be going down for this finally. And, you know, the DOJ should jump on this and drop the hammer ASAP. And, you know, that video of Don Samuels, at first I thought, I was like, is this an old video? Is this new? But when I looked for it, I couldn't find it anywhere. It was apparently, I asked Grok. Grok said it was brand new. I haven't really seen this a whole lot of other places. So if you guys know more about the store than I do, please tell me, because that just came across my radar just today. Grok said it was brand new. But if this is true, this is massive. Ilhan Omar and her husband deserve to be put in prison. They deserve to be investigated, and they deserve to go down for this. I mean, stealing donors' money, diverting it back into their bank accounts. Absolutely disgusting. But what do you guys think of this? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate it. But until then, I'll see you on the next one.